Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. Or should I say, I guess, welcome. Oh geez, I'm knocking pillows down. Wow, that's a start to my first video back in a while. So today's video is going to be my first time filming in, I think, honestly, over a month. At least just me sitting in front of the camera. My last couple of videos have been sort of different ones for me. One when I saw Taylor Swift and with my best friend Jaclyn in the video when we were getting ready. And the last one I just did was me chaperoning a history trip to the East Coast. I'm from California, so usually for middle school trips they go to the East Coast, and I got the opportunity of chaperoning, which is kind of cool because about 4 years ago I went on the same trip as a student and I got to go back and chaperone and be an adult for one, which I thought was kind of cool. Let me raise my chair here real quick. I don't feel like a really big update video is necessary. I've just been extremely busy. As you guys know, I work full-time. I'm also was just finishing up school. So my last semester of my first year of college, I just finished up. I'm actually going to be taking a break from college, which is a decision that I've decided to make. And that's only because I want to pursue a trade school license. I want to go into aesthetics and cosmetology as well as manicuring. At some point I'd like to own my own salon, so that's kind of what I'm aiming for. My life goals have changed, and that is very typical for someone who is only 18 years old. You know, so that's just kind of the update. I am looking forward to getting back into filming very regularly for you guys. I'm trying to do 3 videos a week. I'm going to have probably Monday, Wednesday, Friday. My idea is that we're going to be doing a regular series of wants, thoughts, and I think nots on Wednesdays. Before You Buy Day Friday, I'm coming out with a new series called Before You Buy, which is going to be sort of a video focused on a brand that also might spur off into like a specific type of product, or I don't know, you know, but for right now the Before You Buy videos are going to be brand based. So I'm going to do all-inclusive videos on one brand talking about their audience, their price point, what they believe in, kind of their story as a brand, what scandals they've been involved in, and kind of just educate you guys on whether or not you should be purchasing from that brand, because I think that's really important. When you are a consumer nowadays, we need to be aware of what we're buying and who we're buying from. So that will be something that you will be looking forward to. But today's video, as you can tell by my title, is a wants, thoughts, and I think nots video, which is a sort of regular here on my channel where I talk to you about new makeup releases, whether or not I'm going to buy them, what they're all about, and just kind of go right into it. If you guys have questions for me, of course, please leave them down in the comments. You can also always reach me through direct messages on Twitter and Instagram, Snapchat. I'm pretty much everywhere. So just Stephanieo2000, O as in the letter O, and you know, you'll find me pretty much literally every social media. I even have an Epic account, so if you want to play me on Fortnite, add me, Stephanieo2000. I will play with you, I'm not kidding. Anyways, guys, before I ramble any much more, let's go ahead and get into the video. So as always with my wants, thoughts, and I think nots videos, I do want to first of all give a little bit of credit to Samantha March and Kimberly Clark. This video is inspired after Samantha March's Will I Buy It series, as well as Kimberly Clark's Anti-Haul series, which I think she has since now ended, but she is, I believe, doing a lot of traveling. I watched her update video, so she is kind of MIA on YouTube a little bit, but still she's an awesome creator, so I just want to give her the credit for that. And also, similar to those kinds of videos, I do get my information from TrendMood1 on Instagram. That's James Charles. That's hilarious. I had TrendMood open, I guess it closed. But I do go to TrendMood1 on Instagram. That's kind of where I get all my updates on new makeup releases. I also do follow a lot of makeup brands, so I try to keep updated just directly from them as well. If you guys have recommendations for where I should get my info from besides those, let me know. I would love to hear those because I'm a makeup addict. Sure, the ones who are watching this are as well, so we gotta look out for each other. Oh, I didn't even mention I have a new background. We haven't really talked about that yet. I got a little cute little vinyl art lady here. We kind of look alike. Maybe not, but I did paint my room, so I have black and white horizontal stripes on this wall, which I really love, and you know, I my room is just kind of different. If you guys like it, let me know. If you guys would rather have like a plain background, let me know. I haven't even been on YouTube for a year, so bear with me here. So the first biggest thing that I have heard of is the new Jaclyn Hill and Morphe collaboration, which is the Vault palette collection. I want to start off by saying that I don't know how I feel about this because I don't exactly love the color selections, and I'm also feeling like it almost feels rushed and sort of confused because I look at the yellow palette and I'm like, that's not even really yellow based. It's more like, you know, warm tones. And I feel like they just didn't want to call it that because her whole first palette is warm tones. But, you know, to each their own with their opinion. I will, for starters, just go ahead and say that I will be buying the collection, and that's for review purposes. I'll say that I don't think a single person, unless you are a makeup artist, collector, or makeup reviewer, needs the entire vault. I think that if you like one particular color selection, you should get that one particular color selection. Bear, what is you doing? Are you comfy? My brother's dog is in my room right now. Are you comfy now? Good boy, okay. So with this one, I think I really do like it because it allows for people who are day-to-day makeup wearers to get a smaller palette. Especially fans of Jaclyn Hill who didn't need the entire palette and didn't want it. They now can get a smaller version. Not necessarily a smaller version of the palette, which I also think would have been a good idea, but, and she kind of says that these are the, you know, the edits. These are the ones that are left out, so again, that almost is confusing to me because it almost feels like, oh, she didn't want that in her first big palette. So this is kind of like, I don't want to be mean here, but it really sounds like to me, they're just trying to milk the collection and the collaboration and get more money. And I don't want to get attacked for saying that, but she literally said, these are the shades we left out of the palette. They left them out for a reason because she didn't like them as much. So she's literally taking those Plan B shades and putting them in other palettes to sell. To each their own their opinion for this one. I do think they're beautiful palettes. I cannot speak for the formula in these palettes. She does say that they are the exact same. I will be putting that to the test. I will probably be doing individual videos for each palette so I can do an eye look with each palette. Just so you know, that's probably going to be a series coming up here really quickly. Like I said, if you want to buy this, I totally get it. It's really well priced. I really enjoy Jaclyn Hill, so if you like her, I don't see any problem with buying it. The only problem is if you don't need it and you're kind of contemplating, oh, should I or shouldn't I? Get one or two. I don't think the entire vault is necessary at all. That's where I stand. Just for pricing's sake and information's sake, the palettes are retailing for $15 each or $49 for the entire set, and that's for 4 palettes, so that is an $11 discount. So if you were to buy the 4 palettes individually at $15, that'd be $60. So, no, 49 from 60 is 11. Good job, Stephanie, you can do math. They are launching on June 26th. You can always use Jack Attack, Edges, James, Trend Mood. There's a bunch of coupon codes out there. I, of course, do not have one. I'm not nearly big enough to have an affiliate code with Morphe, but there's a lot of codes you can use as well to get 10% off. That's only $4.90 off of the whole vault, or $1.50 off of one of the palettes. I mean, it's something, but just so you guys know, I figured I'd throw that out there. And it looks like Becca and Chrissy Teigen are doing a round 2 on their collaboration as well. I feel like this is very typical nowadays. We're seeing a lot of just sequels to pretty much everything. Movies, makeup collections, TV shows. Yeah, anyways, so it looks like they're coming out with quite a bit. So far, I have seen the highlight and bronzer it's not really a palette, but it's, let me see, it's the Moonstone Pressed Highlighter, Beach Nectar Pressed Highlighter, and the new Sunlit Bronzer and Aloha Bronze all in one compact. And that's in a compact the size of a regular Becca highlight. I personally am not sure how I feel about that, just because that means you have to, possibly have a really small brush to use the bronzer, because it looks like the bronzer actually doesn't get the majority of the packaging, so I'm not sure how I feel that. I probably won't be purchasing from this collection. Nothing against Becca or Chrissy Teigen. Becca is just a little bit higher priced for me, and it looks like they're coming out with that single product, so the highlight and bronzer duo, as well as some lip glosses. And they're also coming out with a body oil. This again is not something I'm interested in. It's very looks like very bronze and gold toned, which wouldn't work on my fair skin, and I'm just not into body oils. It's just too much to buy a single thing just for a review, and then I'll probably toss it back in my collection. And then MAC is coming out with a collection inspired by Aaliyah. She is an R&B artist who has passed away, and that was a really long time ago. She was very popular, I believe, in the early 2000s. I was born in 2000, so I'm not of the age where Aaliyah means a lot to me. I was talking to my boyfriend about this, I think this morning actually, where I feel like it's kind of weird how MAC has been coming out with collections inspired by or in collaboration with these late celebrities. Like so far, just off the top of my head that I can remember, are Selena and now Aaliyah. I don't know how that works. I don't know who gets the proceeds for that, if they're in fact giving proceeds to anybody. And I'm also not a huge fan of MAC. I do like some MAC products, Pro Longwear Concealer, Pro Longwear Foundation, Soft Ochre Paint Pot. Those are awesome and a very big essentials for makeup artistry, but I will just go ahead and say I won't be purchasing from this collection just because I don't have a strong pull towards MAC or Aaliyah. And if you have one for the other or both, I could totally understand purchasing. Just so you guys are aware of what they're launching, there's going to be 4 lipsticks that are retailing for $17.50 a piece. There are 4 lip glosses for $17, and there's a eye palette which looks like it's going to be a quad for $32, which I feel like is very steep. 2 lip pencils retailing for $17.50, and a bronzing powder for $27. The one thing I also will add is I feel like MAC has hiked up their prices, and everyone has mentioned this. They kind of, every 6 months or so, will just raise their prices 50 cents, and another 50 cents, and another 50 cents. And I'm sorry, but I think that's ridiculous. I just do. I don't know, makeup is definitely expensive. Drugstores have raised their prices too, but I kind of am disappointed in MAC because I feel like they're one of those super consistent brands, and I feel like they don't need to hike up their prices because they're so popular and just such a staple in the beauty community and just for anybody going into makeup at all. But, you know, to each their own with that one as well. I don't have any negative opinions towards this collection. Just the fact that it's weird that it's a deceased artist that they're collaborating with. So if you guys maybe want to shed some light on that for me on why or how they're doing that, that would be cool. But besides that, just, you know, I'm not going to be getting that. And this is actually available, I believe, the day I'm shooting this, which is Thursday the 21st. So it should be out now in stores and online. Beauty Bakerie is coming out with a Milk and Honey highlighting palette, which looks very actually diverse in color selection. Looks like they have one pink toned, very light highlight, which would work on fair skin tones in my opinion. They have a light champagne gold, which would probably work on fair to light to probably medium skin tones. They also have a kind of peachy one, which would probably be more medium and deep skin tones, and a very dark bronze highlight as well. It looks pretty blinding, as they would say, so I don't know if people with fair skin tones can use that as a bronzer because it might just be too shimmery, but that would be awesome for a makeup artist kit in my opinion because you get a whole range of shades depending on what you need. It looks like M Cosmetics is coming out with new lip glosses. I'm not sure if recently they've been rolling out new products, but it looks like this is one of the first main launches that they've had in a really long time. I know Michelle Phan did kind of disappear off the map for a while, which I thought was really awesome for her. I know she posted a video on kind of why she left, and I totally understand why. And it's kind of cool that she's getting back into it, or at least her brand is. It looks like they're coming out with 12 glosses from soft nudes to deep jewel tones. The pricing is $17 a piece. Again, I don't like these brands with these pricing. It's a lip gloss, for God's sake. $17? I don't know. I feel like I'm a little cheap now because there's so many awesome, affordable selections now where I don't feel like I have the need to pay a lot for a gloss. To each their own on that one, again. But it looks like they have a range of, you know, very beautiful reds and nudes. It looks like Melt Cosmetics is coming out with a very warm toned, orangey toned eyeshadow palette. I don't see a price posted for it yet. I will post pictures of everything, so it'll be about right here. I'm not going to be buying this only because warm tone palettes are so done, in my opinion, and I'm tired of them. We'll go back to the Jaclyn Hill collection and say that I'm very happy that not every single palette is warm toned. There is like 2 of them that are very warm toned, but I'm glad that we're starting to see some variance. We're starting to see a lot more rosy toned palettes too, kind of like the Colourpop Give It To Me Straight. Tarte, moving on I guess, because I made it very clear I'm probably not going to get that Melt one. Tarte came out with one, and I have to do a complete roast here. It's about the same shade range as the Give It To Me Straight palette. So this one I didn't see on Trend Mood, but Tarte is coming out with a Love, Trust, and Fairy Dust eyeshadow palette, which is kind of similar to the Rainforest of the Sea in its layout, and it has a very similar color range to the Colourpop Give It To Me Straight palette, which is actually one of my favorite palettes they've ever come out with. Now this palette from Tarte retails for $39. It is actually already out. The problem I have with this is that they're literally ripping off Disney with Tinkerbell and her phrase of a little faith, trust, and pixie dust. They just changed the words a little bit. And, you know, maybe you guys don't think that's a total ripoff, but I do. And I also know that Tarte has had problems in the past with ripping off other companies or people's ideas. And I'm really tired of that with them. And I mean, really, they could have named it anything else because it's very flowery. I don't really know why they did that whole fairy dust thing because I don't really see it as a fairy palette. I see it more as something like petals or, you know, flowers. Something like that, especially with how the palette looks. I think that the name of it is stupid and blatantly ripping off another company's trademark phrase. And, you know, I won't be purchasing it purely for that reason. Also, it's $39, which I think is ridiculous for a price. I don't really like Tarte eyeshadows, at least not that formula. I love their Tartelette eyeshadows, but when it comes to this palette, it's stupid expensive. It's a total ripoff, and the Colourpop palette is freaking awesome. So if you guys want a rosy tone palette, I recommend that one. I believe it retails for no more than $15, and you can usually get coupons or deals with Colourpop as well. I'm pretty much out of anger, and I didn't mean for this to be a ranting video, but it definitely came out that way, and I'm sorry. So if you guys have any opinions on the launches I talked about, please let me know down in the comments. Also, like I said, you can talk to me on my social medias pretty much everywhere. As always, thank you guys so much for watching. If you like me or you like this video, please subscribe, and I'll see you next time. Bye.